Hello and welcome back to Miracles, Morals, and Messages. Today we're diving into one of the most fascinating and ancient stories from Hindu tradition, the story of Manu and the Great Flood. This is a tale of survival, divine guidance, and the rebirth of humanity. Much like the story of Noah's Ark in the Bible, this Hindu version carries deep meaning about duty, faith, and the cycle of destruction and renewal. So let's explore how a humble man, a mysterious fish, and a catastrophic flood shaped one of the oldest flood legends in human history. Long ago, in a time before the world as we know it, there lived a wise and pious man named Manu. He was known for his virtue, his discipline, and his devotion to truth. One day, as Manu was washing his hands in the river, something unusual happened. A tiny fish swam into his palms and spoke to him. Yes, a fish that could talk. The fish pleaded with Manu, "Protect me, and I will one day save you." Manu was startled, but he listened. He placed the fish into a small pot of water to keep it safe. But the fish didn't stay small. Very quickly it began to grow. Manu placed it into a larger vessel. Soon it outgrew that too. He moved it to a pond, then to a lake, and finally into the wide ocean. By now, Manu realized this was no ordinary fish. This was an avatar of Lord Vishnu, the preserver and protector of the universe, who had taken the form of a great fish called Matsya. The fish warned Manu, "A great flood will soon cover the entire world, washing away all living beings. When that time comes, build a large boat. Load it with the seeds of all plants and pairs of every animal, so life may continue. When the flood rises, I will return to guide you to safety." Manu obeyed without question. He began preparing the great boat, gathering seeds and collecting animals 2 by 2. Then, just as Matsya had foretold, the rains came. Storms raged, rivers overflowed, and soon the whole earth was swallowed by water. As the floodwaters rose, Manu climbed aboard his massive boat. Just then, Matsya, the enormous divine fish, appeared once again. Manu tied his boat to the horn of Matsya, and the fish pulled the vessel safely across the violent waters. For days, perhaps weeks, they journeyed together, with Manu praying for guidance. Finally, the waters began to recede. Matsya led Manu's boat to the Himalayan mountains, where it came to rest. From there, life began anew. The seeds sprouted, the animals multiplied, and humanity continued through Manu, who became the father of mankind in Hindu tradition. Thus, thanks to Manu's faith and Vishnu's protection, the world was saved from destruction. The story of Manu and the Great Flood is found in ancient Hindu texts, especially the Satapatha Brahmana and the Puranas. It is considered one of the oldest flood myths in the world, and it shares similarities with other flood stories. The Epic of Gilgamesh from Mesopotamia, the story of Noah's Ark in the Bible, flood legends found in Native American, Greek, and Chinese traditions, but while many of these tales focus on punishment and destruction, the Hindu version emphasizes renewal and preservation. Vishnu's role as Matsya highlights his cosmic duty as the protector of life, ensuring that creation is never truly lost. In Hindu cosmology, time is cyclical. The universe goes through endless cycles of creation, preservation, and destruction. The flood represents not just an end, but also a new beginning, where life restarts with Manu as the first man of the new age. So what lessons can we learn from the story of Manu and the Great Flood? Faith and obedience. Manu trusted the divine message without hesitation, preparing the boat even before the flood arrived. His faith saved him and all of humanity. Preparedness and responsibility. Manu didn't just save himself. He took responsibility for animals, plants, and future generations. The story reminds us to think beyond our own survival and care for the world around us. Renewal and hope. Even when destruction seems total, new life can begin again. The flood didn't mark the end of existence, it was the start of a new chapter. Ultimately, the story teaches us that life is fragile, but with faith, wisdom, and responsibility, humanity can endure even the greatest challenges. And that is the story of Manu and the Great Flood, a timeless tale of faith, survival, and rebirth. If you enjoyed this story, be sure to like, share, and subscribe to Miracles, Morals, and Messages for more powerful stories from the world's sacred traditions. Next time, we'll explore another incredible journey of faith, hope, and wisdom. Until then, remember, every ending is just the beginning of something new, And as always, if you have a story you'd like to see us cover, use the link in the video description to submit your request, and we'll do our best to get it included in our library.